Hey YouTube, I wanted to make a video about the Konica Big Mini F, and the reason I wanted to make it was because when I was looking into it I couldn't find too many videos, and then I bought it, and then I've got some things that might help you decide whether or not this could be a camera for you. So here it is right here. This is the Konica Big Mini F, and this is a 35mm point and shoot camera. There's Konica Big Mini, and then there's Konica Big Mini F. There might be more versions of it that I don't know about. This version has a 35 2.8 lens, and that's what sets it apart from the other Konica Big Minis, as far as I know. At the same time that I bought that camera, I bought this, which is a Minolta 70W Riva zoom. And this is a 28 to 70. I have no idea what the aperture is, but it's a 28 to 70 zoom. And then I recently picked up the MJU2, Olympus MJU2, which is a 35f 2.8. Okay, so I have taken photos, developed photos from these two. I have not seen any out of the MJU2 yet. Spoiler alert, the $70 Riva or whatever you call it takes better photos, I think, than the Konica Big Mini F 2.8. And then I think the handling is also better on this camera as well. So let me tell you first about the handling. There's two major issues in the handling that I see with the Konica Big Mini F. The first being the shutter button. I had heard that it's squishy, and boy is it squishy. It is very squishy. And what that means is there's a lot of distance from whenever you start to push to finally get down to pushing the actual shutter. Whereas with the Minolta, very little travel whenever you start to push. A lot of travel when you start to push here. You really have to kind of mash it down. So that's first handling issue with the Konica Big Mini F. Second is that the lens is exposed always, whereas with the Minolta it gets covered up. And I found this, and I don't really know if it's relevant or not, if it actually affects the quality of the photograph, but it would get smudges on the front, whereas this one's covered up, no smudges. Okay, next thing, otherwise, let me back up. Otherwise, pretty good. Fits in your pocket better than this one, so it does fit in your pocket better. The way it feels in the hand is not as good as the Olympus, or the Minolta, I'm sorry. The Minolta's got this rounded grip here, so I'd say the Big Mini is not as good, but it does fit in the pocket better, which I'm really looking for something that's pocketable. And then another sort of technical aspect of this camera that was not as good as the Minolta was that I like the date imprint, and both of these cameras do the date imprint, but this camera, the Konica, it stops at like 1994. So you can switch it around so that it only has the time, or it only has the year and the time. But with the Minolta, I can shoot a photo with the date imprint May 10th, 2024. This one I cannot. And so after all of that, I thought, okay, well, how are the photos? And because I thought 35 f2 versus that zoom with the variable, probably going to be better, but I was wrong. Let me pull out some examples for you. Now these were scanned at a local lab. And I think what it comes down to is that with the Minolta, the flash fires more often. The flash is going to fire more frequently than on the Konica. So the Konica tries to compensate with its f2.8, and the Minolta says, forget it, I'm gonna flash. And that, I think, is what really does it. So let's see here. Sorry I didn't have these ready for you. I got one particular comparison that I'm looking for, but I just don't see it. Now, I think if you could force the Konica to flash all of the time, then it would be fine. It would probably keep up, but you can't do that. You have to set it to make it flash every time you want to force the flash. So that, for me, is not going to work. Okay, so I don't have the same photo to compare, but right here is a photo of me. This is on the Konica, and what happened was the camera metered for the window. It got tricked and didn't fire the flash, and it turned out dark and fuzzy. And here's the Minolta, and it is zoomed in even and flash, and I just think it turns out to be an overall better image. So summary is, Konica, cooler camera, no doubt, fits in the pocket better, fixed lens, so 35 only, no zoom, wider aperture, 2.8 versus whatever this Minolta is, but I'm sure it's not 2.8. It doesn't even say. This one also has macro capabilities. All right, so smaller, it fits in your pocket, sexier, more of a cult following. The lens gets smudged. It's not protected like the Minolta. Yes, it's 2.8. It's fixed 35. The date will not do 2024. The flash does not fire enough. It gets tricked by exposure. It gets tricked by bright lights. Okay. Minolta, chunkier, doesn't fit so well, as well in the pocket. Does the date up to 2024. Has a zoom, great range, 28 to 70. Love that range. I don't want 35, too tight. 28 is nice and wide, 70, great. I think does better with the metering whenever there's bright lights around, because it's more apt to do a flash. So I'm sending the Big Mini back. I'm sending it back. It's going back. And then I've replaced it, hopefully, with the MJU2, which I think is going to be better with the metering. It's also smaller. It's about the same price. And I don't think it does the date, though. But I will trade that for the smaller, body and better metering. So it's significantly smaller. It fits much easier into a pocket. Anyway, for those of you out there looking at compacts, hope this helps you, and happy shooting.